Morning, Raptorfreak. Alexios here. Saturday morning, the Raptors lost to the Lakers last night, ending their 5-game win streak. It was really too bad. It was what it was. There were a couple of things in play in what happened last night. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. There were a lot of things about it that were a trap. That being like just a little pit stop at home in the middle of the road trip, that was always kind of bad thing. And then also, this Laker team is like a wounded animal. They're in like hurting. They've been beat down, insulted, having such a hard time. This really recently, like since the All-Star break, just having a horrible, horrible time with their games and just looking humiliated that they needed something like this. And they were due for something like this. And that we were due to lose. By the law of averages, us winning those 5 games on that trip, really did kind of say, okay, you guys are going to lose a game at some point. And they jumped up and they got this one. But the bad thing about the game last night is we could have easily won it. And that we made a couple of mistakes in the game that were like developing team kind of mistakes, maybe just poor execution at the end of the game. We missed some free throws. We missed some important shots, different things like that. But ultimately, the play that killed us and made us lose the game when we absolutely had the game in hand was the inbounds play at the end of the game. And that Russell got that 3-point shot off and made it. And I was really hoping that knucklehead had stepped on the line and it was for only 2 points and that they would just lose and be 1 point short. But that veteran savvy of his stepped that foot back just at the last second and made sure it was a 3-point shot. And that's amazing that in that whole frame of time, he was able to do all that, have the guy hanging on him, make sure his foot was behind the 3-point line and nail that shot. That's amazing. Like, honestly, that's a big-time shot by a big-time player. And to be honest, he should have never gotten that chance. That we did not draw up that inbounds play well. I don't understand why we were giving it to Precious at that time. He's not the best free throw shooter out of everybody if they were going to foul him. And it just was a bad breakdown of things, a couple of things, because we shouldn't have. One of the things Alvin said is just don't let them get the turnover. Do whatever you can to protect the ball. And if we just held the ball, been smart in that point, we would have never had any overtime. And I thought we'd be okay in overtime. But, this is the thing. LeBron and Russell are good players. They've been in the league for a long, long time. They have a lot of experience, a lot of things that they've done in their careers. So they know how to do this crazy kind of stuff. We saw LeBron doing some of his old school kind of dominating during the game where he's just like, I'm going to score. I'm going to keep my team going. I'm going to hit an amazing 3-point shot falling out of bounds that has no chance of going in, but somehow it banks in kind of shit going on last night. So LeBron was on. Let's not lie here. There was a lot of different things going good for the Lakers in different ways. And we'll break it down each part. Like at the beginning of the game, there was some really bad stuff that happened right away for the Raptors that I did not like. Their defense in the first half was lackadaisical, wasn't the right energy. And that was a really bad part that set us up for this loss, is that we let the Lakers get rolling at the beginning with that Gabriel kid. That Gabriel kid came out and he couldn't miss. He was 6 for 6 right off the bat. He kind of did what Scotty did to them on Monday night to us. And then Scotty was doing all the scoring for us early on. He had our first 10 points. He looked really sharp right off the bat. But Gabriel coming out there and establishing the offense for the Lakers was really bad because they didn't have any confidence. They didn't have anything good. And we allowed them to get confidence from getting their offense rolling. And it was a totally different Laker team that we saw last night compared to Monday, for sure. They had better energy. They're making better shots. They had better rotations. They had better personnel. They didn't do something stupid like play LeBron at center. They had Dwight Howard in the lineup, and he played center and was able to help him with a lot of the stuff we were killing them on Monday. We absolutely destroyed them on the offensive rebounds on Monday. And this last night, it was a lot more even with Dwight Howard's presence out there. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. It's really early. Yeah, Callie's saying that game was a heartbreaker. Yeah, Callie, I know your stress meter was a little high at the end because it was very close. It could have gone either way. I was really confident in our guys for a bit, but we have to remember, even though we've been showing such incredible poise at the end of games and winning close games and out-vetting teams that may be more vet than us, that we are going to sometimes show that we're still a developing team, that we still have young players that make mistakes and they still have to learn tough lessons. And that's really what last night is like, we got to remember we still aren't perfect. In the end of the game, we're going to make dumb mistakes. We're going to miss free throws. We're going to have bad things happen sometimes from time to time. We've been so good at the end of games lately that we're not used to this. We're not used to failing at the end with execution, because the Raptors have shown really astute, capable ways of executing at the end of the game in most of their games this season. Like, for most of the games this season, if this close, we are managing the game and trying to win it and doing a good job against teams we maybe shouldn't have done that well against. And it was just really that one bad play. Let me look at what you guys are saying, other people. I'm a fun guy. Good morning. Always good to see you. Shaking my fucking head. That game really irritated me, man. Yeah, everyone blaming Scotty, but Precious Achua was the one who let himself get trapped when they threw a bad pass to Scotty that Westbrook stole. Listen, I don't want to blame anybody today. I know it's real easy for us to point fingers at different players like Precious and Scotty for that one play on the inbounds and them losing the ball, and then, Russell hitting that crazy ass shot. And the picture for the stream today with Drake with his mouth wide open and Russell, that's special. That is something that is not normal. And that easily could have missed, and we would have won the game. So in a lot of ways, the Lakers won on luck. In a lot of ways, they were lucky in two ways. They were lucky with their shots, because come on, that LeBron shot that was banked for three, falling out of bounds, was very lucky. That Russell shot that put us into overtime was very lucky. And it was also lucky to them that we did a poor inbounds play that allowed them to even get that shot. It was lucky to them that Pascal missed free throws at the end of the overtime that were really, really important, crucial. These were lucky things for them. So we got to look at it this way. It took everything that they had as far as being those Hall of Fame vets and making huge shots and doing crazy shit out there, everything from that side, and then everything from us having to fuck up and make mistakes for them to get this close of a win. That's how bad they are, is that they needed so many different things to happen for them in the right way for them to actually get this win. And it speaks more about them and than us, because we played really good at times. We had good level of things, but we didn't do it the whole game. Like, in the first half, if we had been better defensively and not let them get so many points in the first half, we would have won the game last night. That we let them get into their offense way too much and get too comfortable and get good vibes going among the Lakers. And we didn't need to do that. We needed to keep them still kind of confused, kind of like dismayed, kind of, incompetent. We needed them to stay like that, but we got them getting too many good vibes between them in scoring and passing. And that Gabriel guy really was the catalyst. Right at the beginning of the game, he did amazing stuff for them, and he got their bench up. And then LeBron was just being LeBron throughout the game, doing big stuff. But we will talk about all sides of this game. We'll talk about how we lost. We'll talk about the good things that the Raptors did also. And we'll talk about, like, thinking about how these guys are going to learn from this. One thing I really love about our team is, after games like last night, they don't get on social media or start posting shit and stuff like that. They go black. They don't talk anything. Radio silence, because they take that loss and it means something to them. They're not showing that they're living their lives still going on and stuff like that. They're actually, like, really taking the loss, and they're not posting because they're upset that they lost a game like this. Sure. Let's keep going. Callie saying it wasn't just that play that lost the game. LeBron was allowed to run around pretty freely. Yeah, it sucks, because I know I was talking about in the preview yesterday about Precious and his defense, and at times it looked really, really good, but LeBron really did get a lot going. Like, man, he really messed us up. Let's look at his stat line real quick, LeBron. LeBron had 45 minutes last night. First of all, that's crazy. Like, that dude played the whole game plus with some of the overtime. 15 for 26 from the field is way too high a percentage for him. He was on, and which is, he wasn't on Monday for sure. 36 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks. Yeah, LeBron was being LeBron, and we got to expect that. That's LeBron. It is what it is. And we hate him. You don't like him. He's been a bum, but at least we didn't see any of that behavior, that childish behavior last night. Like, I know they were winning, but it was close also. Well, he's just not acting out and being a bum. He wasn't doing that last night, at least. Tom Duke saying, good morning. Well, one more experience for this young squad. No biggie. The next few games are big. Sixers, Bulls, and Cavs. These are very big games. And I'm a little worried, because they're going to be tests. Like we're going to go see the Sixers with James Harden, and that's going to be a different look for them than what we've seen of them so far this year. We'll do a proper preview tomorrow morning, and we'll talk about the game leading up to it on Sunday morning. But yeah, I'm already going to be doing my research today, looking ahead to see what the Sixers team has been doing and what their weakness is with James Harden now. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes they do really, really well, but there has been a few games where James has disappeared, specifically that Brooklyn game when they came to Philadelphia the other day. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens on this. Bulls are in a little bit of trouble. Cavs, yeah, everything that we didn't want to happen last night happened. We lost in overtime, the Lakers, and the Cavs ended up beating the Nuggets in overtime. So they got that one game lead over us again instead of being tied with them. And as some people have said, this one game lead might as well be a 2-game lead because they have the tiebreaker. And if we have to really get ahead of them to get out of this. So it sucks because we're back in a hole again, but it's not a very deep hole. And if we keep moving in the right direction, hopefully Cleveland can stumble some more, then maybe we can still, hopefully jump out of there and get out of there. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Chris, good morning. Damn, what a crappy L. But like I said, I expect a Raps win with DM near every night, but it was a good time to not make a prediction. Let's start a new streak. Yeah, there were a couple of things that bugged me about last night. There were a lot of Laker fans in the Scotiabank Arena last night. They were clowning around. They were being jerks. They were kind of being assholes. Yeah, see them jumping around in front of the camera and trying to be all badass and talking shit. I just don't like Laker fans. There's a certain arrogance. There's a certain thing that comes around with them, a certain air to them. It's really annoying. And another thing I didn't like about last night was Drake. Drake, what the fuck, man? I'm glad you came to the game. I'm glad you were there. But you know what? The whole fucking game, I saw you on your phone, looking down at your phone the whole fucking time. You didn't even look at the game. You were barely engaged in the game. It's almost like you were at a game watching some buddies play. You didn't care about the game. You were just on the phone. You're just waiting for them to get done so you can go hang out with them after the game. That's what it felt like to me last night. Like you were not engaged in the game at all. You were on your phone, sitting right there. Just look. I don't know what you were doing, what you were editing a video, or you were contacting your agent or talking about your next tour or something on your phone. But man, get the fuck off your phone and watch the game, man. You got one of the best seats that you can have in the NBA, and the whole night your head was down looking at your phone. What the fuck was that, Drake? Come on. We needed you engaged. I did see you talking some trash here and there to different people, and that was good. We needed more of that. But once again, Drake's allegiance in this kind of situation is kind of fuzzy because he works so much with LeBron. Him and LeBron are so tight, and you saw how chummy he was with Russell. So it's like, I don't even know if he's actually helping us out there. I know he's not talking trash to the Raptors, but maybe his trash talk doesn't help with the other guys either. That maybe it's all fun and games, and they're more like, "Ooh, we're talking to Drake while we're playing." I don't know. Drake was bugging me last night. He could have been more of a better factor than just being so out of it. Like I said, put your phone down, Drake. Come on, man. All right, let's keep going. Okay. All right. Oh, it's jumped ahead. You guys, there's a bunch now. All right. I got you. Yeah, let's see. Tom Duke saying LeBron was motivated and Russ showed up. These guys really did, and they were balling. They were like, Russell has missed so many free pointers in the recent past. Like, this is insane that he made this many threes last night. Just say he made 4 3-pointers last night out of 7. That's over 50% shooting at the 3-point line. That's not what he's been doing. He's been shooting like 10% from the 3-point line since in the recent months. So this really is an aberration for what these guys have been doing in some ways. I know LeBron's had some 50-point games recently and stuff like that, but Russell way outperformed what he's done at different times recently. Like, these guys were, the Lakers, I'm going to look at their box score real quick. The guys that really killed us were Gabriel early on, like I said, LeBron all through the game, just being LeBron, putting points in and putting his will. Like he would come down the court and say, I'm going to score no matter what. And you could tell that's what he was doing. And then Bradley off the bench with his threes absolutely killed us. 4 threes for Avery Bradley. He was a real dagger guy for them last night against us. And I hated that. I hated seeing them get that from Bradley. because he's somebody that you can negate and not have a big deal. And we weren't rotating well last night. There were way too many threes that were wide open by the Lakers. There were a couple, like our defense was not good last night in the first half, and it really let them get going. And that was a big mistake. It was in the first half, letting Gabriel get going and then letting, not playing good defense in the first half. We did not show up right away. We showed up in the second half, played better defense then, but it was too late by then. It was kind of like their mojo had gotten going, and we shouldn't have ever let their mojo get going. That was a big problem. All right, let's see. G said, apparently Nurse in his press said he put the rookies in a high-pressure situation at the end. No one should be blamed. Short-term pain for long-term gain for the rookies. This is the right attitude. G is exactly right. It's like we're not playing a blame game. We lose games. Guys are going to make mistakes. They're not going to be perfect every time, every 2 minutes at the end of the game. There's going to be mess-ups. Some of the positives I like from last night was, all right, Gary Trent woke up near the end of the game and he started dueling with those threes. He hit 2 big threes near the end of the game. I really like that we did actually have the lead, and we could have, if we had just made the execution on the last play, that we would have won the game. We really seriously should have won the game in regulation. That the fact that Russell got that shot and got it off is really bad in some ways, but also it's like that's a rookie mistake. That's something that Scotty, for all the great things he did on the court, he's going to take that to heart, that whole part, and he's going to learn from it. He's going to try to never, ever let that happen again. Him and Precious, they're both going to feel it and look at that play today in tape, and they're going to see exactly what they did wrong, and they're going to remember it, and they're going to use it for the future. That if they're ever in a situation that replicates this kind of scenario, they will know what to do better the next time. And that's the really important thing about gaining experience, like Russell and LeBron. Like Russell said at the end, after the game, they asked him, he's like, what makes you think you can make that shot at the end of regulation? He's like, well, I have 23,000 points, motherfucker. Yeah, of course I think I can make this shot. That's true. You look at LeBron, Carmelo, and Russell, and you've got like 70, how many points? Let me think about this. Like 80,000 NBA points between 3 guys right there. You got 30,000 from LeBron, then you got 25 from the other 2 guys. So you got 80,000 NBA scored points between 3 dudes on their roster. And that, like, if you look at our total of points scored in the NBA for a whole roster, it's like not even half of one of those guys. So, that's the kind of thing we're dealing with. We're dealing with a huge experience there. And, these guys came to play. They didn't dog it. They played hard. LeBron really had to earn this win. Russell had to earn this win. We didn't just give it to them. And the margin and the way that they won, just barely, considering everything, shows that they really are not that good and that they need all that to get to that. They look much more like an NBA team this time. Like, they did not look like an NBA team that was together in any kind of way on Monday. And last night they did. And you can see it from the way they were using LeBron off the ball, which was very interesting to me. The backdoor cuts, the moving off the ball, and them getting the ball to him in motion was really, really like good strategy. That honestly, that should have been maybe the way they've been running their offense all year, is don't even let LeBron have the ball. Make him work off the ball and go backdoor and do all that kind of stuff, because it was really successful, him moving without the ball. So, yeah, there's a lot of different stuff going on there. I like what G said. Lumpy Rex is saying Scotty is like a plant. We knew how he came out of the ground that was going to be huge, but he's starting to show his colorful petals. We got to keep a wide perspective. This season is special. Yeah, Scotty, once again, I really honestly thought that he took another step as far as like putting his claim on being a dominant player in the NBA. That he did a couple things, like he was dueling with LeBron for a little while there where they're going back and forth. LeBron would score a basket, they come back down, and Scotty would score a basket. That was fantastic to see. I love seeing Scotty take that competition and take that, like, I want to do this against you. Let's look at his box score real quick. 42 minutes for Scotty, 31 points, his career high. He also had his career high in rebounds, 17 rebounds for our guy Scott, 6 assists, 1 steal. He had 2 turnovers. That's not a big deal. 14 for 21 from the field. That's fantastic. And he even had a three. So, and he hit both of his free throws. So I'm very happy with Scotty and the way he played last night. And I like that whole him versus LeBron and that battling back and forth, because at times they both look just as dominant as each other. And if you're looking as dominant as LeBron James on the court, that's good. That's a good sign for your career. And yeah, I really like that you're saying keep a wide perspective, because there's a lot to this and there's a lot going forward. It's too bad we didn't sweep the city of LA, but we got to remember it's LeBron. And like I said, I hate how, I didn't like how the Laker fans in the Scotiabank Arena last night were able to lord over or have little shit talk at the end of the game to our Raptor fans in the Scotiabank Arena, because I know they were being assholes, and you can just tell just from watching the in-game feed. If you saw the crowd stuff, you could see them being like complete assholes. Like, honestly, Laker Nation, I hate them. Laker Nation in Toronto is particularly annoying. All right, let's keep going. Seymour saying, good morning, Raps family. I watched the game amongst 4 Laker fans and lost $200 on the game. I'm not in a good mood. Bottle to my head right now. Man, I hate hearing that. That's what I'm just now talking about. Seymour saying he was at home and he had to watch it with Laker fans. And they, it's too bad, because I wish they could have been shut up and that they came through for you, Seymour, and that you hadn't lost money, because this is bullshit. It sucks. But it is part of the NBA. It's things any team can win on any given night. Maybe we took them a little too lightly because they were kind of a pushover on Monday. And LeBron really did have something that he really needed to prove, and he wanted to do it. And like, as he said it after the game in his press conference, he said, it's fun to go into a hostile environment like this one. So he really sees our crowd and our building as a hostile place. He sees it as being very like loud and animated. And it was, we could hear them really well. Our crowd is fantastic. And when it's all there in full effect, that's great. But I hated hearing the crowd react to his big shots and stuff and go crazy, because that meant the Laker fans were being really loud in those moments. And they, like I said, they're obnoxious. Like, just please, God, too many purple and gold jerseys in the arena last night. And I know that people save their money up. They don't go to any Raptor games all year because they're a Laker fan and they only go to the Laker game. And they specifically just come for that. These Laker fans, they bug me. And I'm sorry about that, Seymour. I hate to hear that you lost money because the Raptors lost. G said they had it with 10 seconds left. Even though it's a learning experience, can't pretend I wasn't frustrated. It's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating, because they had it in their hands. They really did. They had to fuck up pretty bad for that to happen with Russell. And that was what it was, is a fuck up. Because, like, honestly, we've been so good at executing in late game situations. It's just too bad that was able to happen. I know Nick Nurse was saying after the game in the press conference that he thinks that maybe some of these plays near the end of the game were actually fouls that the refs weren't calling, especially that play where Scotty was in the lane and he lost the ball near the end of the overtime. That maybe there was a strip, but maybe there was also a foul, a slap on the hand. They're going to watch the tape today and they may understand more about it. It did kind of look like he just lost it, though. So it's kind of hard to tell whether there should have been a foul call in that moment. And the refs were pretty good about giving us fouls and getting us to the line last night. They weren't super bad last night. There was a little bit of funny stuff with the refs, a little bit, but not too bad. I thought they were pretty even last night. I can't blame the refs really for too much. I mean, we missed way too many free throws last night. Once again, the free throws is a really big problem for the Raptors, because that really adds up by the end. They missed 7 free throws and shot 65% at the line. That's not good. That's 7 points. You lost by 5. And in particular, the guys who were missing them that I didn't like Delano, man, you come in for so little of the game. You need to fucking make your free throws, Delano Banton. I'm really not happy with the way you shot those free throws last night. You look really bad the way that you shot him. You looked like you were shooting to the side of the hoop or something. But this offseason, young man, please, 45 Rexdale, get in the gym and work on your free throws and your concentration at the free throw line. Because you missed 2 out of your 3 free throws last night. And that really was bad, dude. That was very bad. And Siakam is not like this, man. Why did you miss 3 free throws, Siakam? You never miss free throws hardly. and you missed three of them last night. You've been so money. And I know you beat yourself up because that was a turning point in the overtime when Siakam stepped up to the line and missed that first free throw. That was a kind of like the whole building went, oh, and then everybody's like, oh, failure. And then that really hurt our momentum to close out the game in the overtime with any good feeling and possibly win at the end. Pascal, when you miss that free throw, it's such a buzzkill. It's such a, God, what the fuck, man? We're down by 2 and you missed the first one of your free throws. Really, really bad. We needed that badly, Pascal. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to be mad at them. This is human nature. This is part of the game. You win some, you lose some. And the margin of error was very slim last night. That they couldn't make these kind of missed free throws, bad start with their defense for half of the whole game. And then that one last play with the inbounds. If you just executed on that play, that game would have been over and that would have been a Raptors win. Oh, yeah, it would have been. Let's keep going. Let's see. I'm a fun guy saying otherwise that game and atmosphere was so lit, one of the best games of the year. I agree. It was entertaining, it was back and forth. It was a Friday night classic. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of it. Unfortunately, the LeBron fans get more fodder to talk about how great he is, and that there's a little bit of saying that today, yeah, maybe there's a LeBronto sign now near the city hall this morning, and I hate that. I hate that kind of shit. It's still past California. We got that territory over there. They just happen to get the home game here against us, which is way too bad. It's too bad, but whatever. It's one game. We got to move forward. And if we beat Philadelphia and Chicago in the next 2 games, we're going to forget all about this Laker loss real fast. Oh, yeah, we will. G saying it in a messed up way. Maybe there is a silver lining. Now that the Lakers won, the media will be all over this game and may put a spotlight on Barnes. I like that thinking, G. I think they should, honestly. If they really want to paint some drama, if the NBA media hype machine wants to paint some drama, they need to put that matchup, James versus Barnes, on the front page of all the NBA today and say that Scotty, a rookie, went in there and went toe-to-toe and really did some not one-on-one, but like battling back and forth with scoring in the middle of that game. It really was at one point James on one end, Barnes, James, Barnes, back and forth, one and the other, back and forth, both ways. And it's funny what they asked Scotty after the game, like, how do you feel about going toe-to-toe with LeBron James? This is a big deal to you. Do you have dreams about this as a little kid? Is this a big deal to you? And Scotty's like, once again, such a badass. You know what Scotty said? Scotty said, no, I don't really care. It's not really a big deal to me. I'm a Kobe guy. I was always a Kobe guy. I don't care. They were rivals. LeBron doesn't mean that much to me like Kobe would. That's what he said. Basically, he said he was a Kobe fan and that he was not a LeBron fan because he looked at them as being rivals. So there's no love for LeBron James from Scotty Barnes. He just looks at him as another adversary, another team player that he has to play against, and that's it. It's like there's no special connection. There's no special thing about getting to battle him for him. He's just another number, another player in this league. And that's sometimes maybe LeBron needs to be treated like that you're just another number in the league. Yeah, sure, you have all these stats accumulated, stuff like that, but maybe you need to think about that in your own head sometimes, LeBron, that you're just another player in the NBA. Yeah. Maybe if you had that kind of thinking, you'd be better off and still be a badass. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. But yeah, I like your idea of this, G, that maybe we did get more of a attention on Scotty and what he's able to do. I mean, if they see the highlights, they see some of the offensive stuff that in his bag of tricks, then maybe they should be really impressed with him. And hopefully, once again, he needs to be getting Rookie of the Year more and more consideration. I think last night helped him still, even though we lost. I think it still helped them. So I like that line of thinking. Marlon Toby saying ESPN is acting like this game was the NBA Finals. The Lakers just fucking won the championship. Unbelievable. Raptor fans, our team is going to cause so much trouble for the NBA. Yeah, it was like somebody was saying on Twitter last night, the Laker fans were acting like they won the Larry O.B. They were like way overly celebrating, like they fucking won something. What the fuck is wrong with them? That's how sad they are. That they get out of a losing streak. They finally get a win after looking so shitty for a couple weeks that they act like they won the championship. Oh my gosh. Look, you could win this game and then you might go and lose your next 6 games, Lakers. So yeah, go ahead and enjoy it, savor it. And maybe this is your championship for the year. Like you're gonna get in the play-in. If you get in the play-in, you might go right on out. So it's like, oh my gosh, you guys, you're so happy that you won this game last night. Like the bad thing is it's all right for the Laker fans on Twitter to act like this, but if ESPN's acting like this and treating this game like this, that's so fucked up. That's such bullshit, Marlon. Oh my gosh, ESPN's really acting like that because I don't watch ESPN. I ain't got nothing to do with that propaganda channel with way they do stuff. If they're trying to do that, well, fuck them. Honestly, they should have been talking about how we just came off a 5-game win streak in the West and we just tore up the Western Conference. Where's the piece on that? Fuck the LeBron James Lakers like sucking their dick today. Like even Michael Grange, once again, sucking his dick so hard last night in different ways in the post-game conference when he's asking LeBron questions. Oh my gosh, Michael, why don't you just put some lipstick on and go over there and just, I don't know, man. You're just so fucking such a kiss ass. And I hate that one of our reporters is so unabashedly and out there as a LeBron freak. Like I'm a Raptor freak. He's a LeBron freak. Michael Grange, you are a known LeBron freak, and it doesn't look good, man. You just seem like, he bugs me. He really bugs me the way he puts LeBron on this pedestal and the way he treats him. Oh my gosh. Let's keep going. Callie saying, I watched the highlights of Sixers game, and they look good. Harden played well. I'm worried. Yeah, well, listen, he may play well in some ways. Like he's good. He almost got a triple double. He's got interesting things going on. He's really making good assists right now. Like he's really setting up Embiid. He's doing different things like that, which is good for him. But once again, his Achilles heel is he's not gonna work on defense. And what we need to really do is stymie him on the other end with our defense. And I think we can negate him. Like if we show too much effort in the game, that James might just like stop working. He might give up. I still think it's smoke and mirrors. Like this whole thing with Harden being in Philadelphia is a honeymoon period right now. Things are fine, but we're going to see them fail at some point in the playoffs, and it's going to turn a lot of people off from Harden because it's going to stem from Harden why they fail. And that we may not see it right away. We may see them still rolling, and we're going to their arena. We're gonna be in there with Philadelphia fans, and that's a different kind of thing than playing them here. But hopefully we can beat them. Like we've had a lot of success against Philadelphia this year. Joel Embiid against our team isn't as effective as he is against a lot of the teams in the NBA. For some reason, he just does not play well against us. He doesn't play big. I know part of it's the Marc Gasol thing from before, but even since, he still doesn't have super huge games against the Raptors, and that we're able to contain him or bug him or just get to him because our guys are quicker and they're still long enough to kind of agitate him. So I'm looking forward to this. We'll talk about it way more tomorrow for sure. Kareem saying, yes, a couple of mistakes happened down the stretch, but it took LeBron James 2 lucky bank shots and a fluke Westbrook three-pointer is why we lost. Exactly right, Kareem. They needed luck, and they needed us to mess up. That's 2 things that aren't for sure and don't happen all the time. That lucky stuff is going to happen sometimes, but then the stuff with us messing up also with it, yeah. And if you think about it, we just hit a couple of those free throws that I was just talking about. The game wouldn't have been that close at the end of the game and all kinds of stuff. It just woulda, coulda, shoulda. But there's little things that we could have cleaned up and done just a little bit better that would have kept the game out of reach so there wouldn't even been a chance for them to do something on luck. And that's the thing. That's how far apart it was, really. They're lucky they won that game last night. They had to go to overtime, and they had to have a lucky play at the end of regulation to get to that point. Meanwhile, we were cruising along, and we were on point to win this game regardless. Like some people say, whoa, you took over and won the game. Well, you didn't. At the end of regulation, we had the lead. We were in line of managing the game to win the game. And we fucked up in the very last thing in the last second and allowed a little bit of window for you guys to get a lucky shot and get it in there. And that's exactly what happened last night. So if you look at it that way, it's kind of like you guys got a lucky win and we had to fuck up in that lucky win also for you to get it. So Seymour saying LeBum went to the locker room early, denied media the other day, but went all smiles and hugs after his win. What a jerk. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, listening to LeBron in his press conference after the game, he he's well spoken and his attitude was all right in it. But yeah, that is a really interesting thing to see that he wouldn't do it after a loss, but of course he's going to be there after a win. It's because he doesn't want to answer for his behavior from Monday with what the dirty plays and just them continuing to lose. He just doesn't want to talk about it. And of course, he's going to show up and get the shine after a game like that. Yeah, he's a coward in some ways, guys. He really is a coward. G saying Westbrook hit the backboard and still attempted that last streak. Have to give him credit. Hang on. Have to give him credit. Take some onions. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, he's been missing so many shots. He's been absolutely garbage at different times this season. The fact that he was able to rise up and do that was a big deal. He has a history in the Scotiabank Arena, Russell and Kevin Durant, back from their Oklahoma Thunder days. Those guys would get up and they play these amazing games when they come to their one Toronto game and just really fill it up. Like Russell would get like 45 and Kevin, they would hit these daggers and put it into overtime, and then they end up beating us. Like they've done this to us over the years. Him and Durant specifically, Russell. I went to one particular Oklahoma City game of maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and this happened. Yeah. So yeah, it's annoying. Callie's saying, "I'm sorry, but I hate LeBron. So annoyed when he said he knew Scotty was special since 7th grade, like he discovered him." There's a lot of pros that are saying this. I think who was the other one that was saying this crap? Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was saying, "Yeah, I saw him as a kid and I knew." Yeah, I understand, but that's the thing. These guys are going to be looking for who's the next talents up, and that's kind of cool that he saw like really special things in Scotty in the 7th grade and stuff like that. But also, when he said that, it didn't sound like he has any connection to him or any kind of affinity for him. It's just kind of like, yeah, I observed him in 7th grade, and I knew he was going to be good because he had long arms or something like that. And he's playing point guard already then, even, and he's still playing point guard now. Kind of what the bullshit. He's like, yeah, he's just observing. It doesn't say that he went and talked to him. It doesn't say that he went and said, "Hey, kid, I like your style, and hopefully you'll be in the NBA someday." Trying to be a mentor or anything like that. It just says he observed them like a lurker. Like he was hiding. He's like, "Oh, I observed the 7th grader while he was playing. I was in the bushes and I was touching myself." Some bullshit like that. What the fuck, LeBron? You observed him when he was in the 7th grade. I hope you thought that was funny, Callie, what I just said. But yeah, it's like, what is that? Whatever. Yeah, anybody could say, "Oh, I went to a game and I saw this kid." Listen, I fucking saw Steph Curry shooting around when he was 12 years old in the Air Canada Center when his dad, Del Curry, played for the game. I observed Steph Curry and Seth Curry. I know all about them. I discovered them when I was sitting there as a concession worker in the Air Canada Center. What is this fucking shit? Tom Duke saying, "Do you like March Madness? Have any time for it?" For fun stuff. Number 2 seed, Kentucky lost to the 15th seed. I heard about Kentucky going out in the first bit. No, I cannot watch college basketball. It's just way too much information overload for me. I used to fill out a bracket just for fun, blindly. Like I wouldn't know anything about any of the teams, and I just fill it out and go by feeling. And sometimes I did okay in March Madness when I do that, but I haven't filled out a bracket in a couple years. I just don't pay attention enough. I know that my alma mater and Scott's alma mater does pretty well in the tournament these days. These past couple years, FSU has got in there and they've done stuff like got in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. And I'm really proud of Florida State. If I'm going to root for a team in the March Madness, it will be the Seminoles. And I just hope that they do well. I know they're in it, and hopefully they're going to do well. I don't know where they are, or if they are really in it, or if they lost or not yet already. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in March Madness, but not really. No, I'm not like other people. I can't. I'm just so focused on Toronto and what's there happening with them and the Raptors and stuff. And it takes so much of my time. I can't go pay any attention to college basketball at all. But yeah, I hope you guys have fun doing it and all that kind of stuff. And I hope your bracket doesn't get busted, Tom, dude. Okay, let's see what else you guys are saying. Raps played better in hostile environments and in away games. They had a foul to give too, and that on that last play too. Okay. Yes, G. I like the Raptors on the road sometimes more than I like them on the home court. And part of the reason why is because our home crowd will react to the game as it happens. And sometimes our home crowd is a real Debbie Downer. Sometimes they let the air out in the building in a bad way that isn't good for our team. And I've talked about this a little bit earlier in the season, that if the crowd shows up, you need to be supportive and confident no matter what. Even if they're losing, even if LeBron comes and is dominating, hitting big shots and impressing everyone, fuck that shit. Be loud. And there weren't enough defense chants for me last night. They should have been early in the beginning of the game. There was no defense chants. They didn't start the defense chants until the second half. And when they did, they came correct. They were very loud, but it was too little too late. The defense chants need to start in the first half. As soon as the other team starts touching the ball, we need to, as a crowd, be out there going, defense right away, because that does really help get their energy up and their gumption to get on them on defense. And they weren't doing that in the first half. So fans, when you get to the building, we have a lot of home games to go out now. We only have 4 road games, and then the rest of all our games are at home. So home crowds, please do that defense chant right from the start. Don't wait and look around and see how the game's going to go. Because once again, when things start to go bad in the game, the air gets sucked out of the building. The confidence of the crowd gets thrown out. They're like, oh my gosh, this is trauma from when LeBron was on Cleveland and how he would do things to us back then. It's like, you guys, you can't be like this. You got to be strong, and you got to cheer them and not have any kind of like worry in what the building. You put a worry into the building, and it adds to the whole element of like unsureness on our team. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I want the crowd to come correct no matter what. And that's cheering defense through the whole game, the whole 48 minutes, and starting right away, because you didn't show up until the second half. And then second, when bad things happen on the court, you cannot let the air get sucked out of the building. You cannot let the other team have that kind of control over our crowd. That we need to be defiant to somebody like LeBron James, who's doing big things on the court, and just stay loud and be badass anyway. Because in some ways, you're giving him control of you. When other teams are able to control our crowd by shutting them up or by doing things, that's bad. We don't want that. We need to be defiant and say, no, we don't. You can't control us with what you're doing on the court. We're going to be loud and cheer our team on no matter what. That's how I really feel about this, because the fans get too sensitive to this. And once again, Toronto fans fickle about winning. If they don't feel like they're going to win or they're not winning, then they'll shut up and they won't cheer their team when they really need them. And that's the problem. It's like they have to feel like they're invested in winning and the game's going to be a win, or they won't go all out. And I hate that. I hate that. It's like if the Blue Jays come into the season coming up and they're a 400 team, less people will come to the game because they don't want to be around a losing team or being around losing. So Toronto fan, get over it. We've been losers. We do lose sometimes, but you need to be better in losing. Be tough and be confident and go for it anyway. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, they're better off on the road in some ways. And this is part of the reason why it fed LeBron and Russell last night, because they do love coming to a live crowd like Toronto's crowd last night. They do love shutting them up. They do love that animosity and that energy in the building. It builds into them and it energizes them. So we're going to put that energy out there. We better use it to hurt them also, because we are helping them, because they love that adversity. They love showing up the crowd and making everybody shut up. So in some ways, we might have won this game if it had been on the road. If this game had been in LA, we probably would have won it, because every single mistake that the Lakers made, the Lakers crowd would be on them. And it's a similar kind of effect. When we make mistakes, our crowd could get on our team and maybe groan or be like, oh, Pascal missed a free throw. And then it just sucks the air out of the whole entire fucking building. And it's no good at that point. The game's over. We've already lost just because he missed a free throw and everybody is giving up in the crowd. So I hate that kind of shit. I hate that kind of shit so much. Callie said, honestly, love your sick sense of humor. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, it's like, what are you saying? It's like, I saw him as a 7th grader. Ooh, it's hilarious. It's so stupid. It's like, it's creepy, actually, in a way. You didn't say you went up to him and talked to him. You didn't say, hey, kid, you're going to be somebody someday, or nothing like that. No, you just said you observed him. You observed a 7th grader. That sounds so sick, LeBron. You're sick fuck. Oh, my gosh. Seymour Pape, that looked out of rhythm last night. Yeah, I didn't in particular see him any more egregious than anybody else as far as the defense. Godspeed. Godspeed, fire truck. Get there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Thad has been hit and miss at different times with different things. He didn't play a whole lot last night. I mean, 13 minutes, 1 of 4. Yeah, he didn't shoot as well. Yeah, he had 2 turnovers. Yeah, you know what? He did have a bad game. You're right. He hit that 1 3 in the corner. That was a big three, though. That was kind of out of the blue. Just all of a sudden, oh, Thad's taking it, and he bombed it and he hit it. That was pretty cool. May 4th is here, and he's saying, "Go Knicks!" Yes, you know what? I'm gonna give you that May 4th. Sure, go Knicks. I don't know what's gonna happen with Julius Randle. I don't know what's gonna happen with your team. There's a lot of stuff. I feel so bad for our Canadian guy, RJ Barrett. Like when he got drafted to the Knicks, you saw the look on his face. He was not happy. It's like, man, why do I feel bad for RJ? Seriously. Like RJ, think about it. When you get done with the Knicks, maybe come and be on the Raptors. Yeah, I'd love to see that. We love Canadians on our team, and RJ is a native son, and we'd love to have him on our team. But yeah, the Knicks, you guys have problems. Come on, man. You have problems. I mean, I don't. Yeah, the fire truck is on the way to save the Knicks. That's what Seymour's saying. That's perfect timing. That is improv comedy right there, Seymour. Integrating the live stream, the outside effects of what's going on in Toronto with the commentary on here for a very sick burn. Yes, a sick burn. That fire truck is going to have to go there and treat them for burns. Treat May the 4th for burns. Treat the Knicks for burns. Yeah, that fire truck is there. Yeah. I mean, why are you even here? I mean, that ain't happening. This guy's saying that ain't happening. All right, now we got it, guys. We got it. Let's go. All right. This is going to be a promo. All right, Knicks fan, what have you done this year? I know you started really strong, and everybody was like saying, "Oh, the NBA was saying so much good things about you at the beginning of the season," and there was promise. I actually was hoping for you guys to do better this year. I like y'all. Honestly, I think y'all are so pathetic from the last few years that honestly, I kind of root for y'all. That's how bad y'all are. As I kind of root for y'all to just get a little bit better. But no, you got Julius Randle on your team and the whole city hates him. You got Kemba Walker on your team. He's supposed to be the next great New York point guard. What the fuck happened with that? Why was he not starting by Christmas? What the fuck is wrong with your team, Knicks fan? Seriously, you ain't got no leg to stand on with us. We got Masai Ujiri. We got the best fucking franchise in this league built towards winning. And you got the worst franchise in the Atlantic Division that is built towards losing because you have a crazy ass psychopathic owner named James Dolan. And then you got all these fucking fucks you put on your team that are head cases that can't get along and can't do nothing. Thibodeau, you know what? He's a good coach, but you know what? He's lost half his team. Don't get it twisted, May the 4th. He's lost half his team. Half that team don't listen to Thibodeau. I seen Randall on the bench listen to him. He's listening one ear, right out the other. He ain't listening to Tim Thibodeau. All right, so listen, man, don't get it twisted. Motherfucker, are you even in the play-in right now? I mean, seriously, are you even in the play-in? Who the fuck are you to come in here and say that ain't happening? I'll tell you what ain't happening. You ain't getting in the playoffs is what ain't happening. Oh, yeah, motherfucker, you find it out real quick. Why are you here? That is what G is saying. Why are you here? I love this. Okay, let's see. Make for saying, do it to yourself. I'm better than most. Listen, I kind of feel like this is like a jobber. This is someone who came into the ring, has no business in here. You're motherfucking Marco Stunt, motherfucker, and I'm fucking Braun Breaker, and I'm about to break your ass in half, motherfucker. Because listen, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Kenny saying, good morning. I'm not going to lie. I'm still haven't recovered from last night. Yes, Kenny. I know me neither. Neither have I. I have not recovered from this either yet. You know, it is what it is. In some ways, we should just be like, fuck it. It's over. It's done. And we're going to Philly tomorrow. Next game up. You know, because listen, our record recently is very good. Like that 5-game win streak on the West Coast trip was so impressive. These motherfuckers don't want to give us flowers for it. Now they're going to come in here and try and talk shit as a Knicks fan when we just lost one game last night to fucking LeBron James. That's the way of the world, motherfucker. When does LeBron come to New York? And what does he do to you? So what the fuck, man? You ain't got no leg to stand on. Who the fuck is this guy? Okay, all right. No, seriously, you come in here every day. I want to do this. We'll have a segment where I just cut a promo on you every day. You like wrestling? I'll cut a wrestling promo on you every day, May the 4th. Please subscribe. Hit that red button. Get me towards 1,000. Come on now. Yes, I love it. This is the best. This is what NBA action is all about. It's fantastic. Oh, yeah. All right, let's keep going. Darren's saying, not mad at the loss. Happy for Russ Brick. Raps will get over it. And what about Scotty? Yeah, Scotty's showing more and more the levels of superstardom that he's going to be reaching and striving for. This is what I'm saying. If he's already doing these veteran kind of moves as a rookie at this point in his career, he gets more precision, more intricate with what he's doing with his footwork, with his hands, with the way he shoots the shot, everything he's doing, picking apart defenses, really reading them, making more offensive crazy ass passes because he has that vision, that court vision. Then the future is so fucking bright. Oh my God. Who do you have, Knicks? Who do you have on your team that looks like Scotty Barnes coming up? RJ, maybe? RJ? Yeah, I could say RJ maybe is pretty good. Dude, I'm glad you subscribed. Seriously, join the North. Come be like Chev. Forget your New York City roots. Give up on your horrible team and come to the dark side. Come to the dark side that the NBA ESPN machine says that Toronto's the big bad wolf, the bad boys, the bad guys, the bad man. Hey, yo, yeah, you come and see us because the bad guys last, baby. Oh, yeah, they last. May the Fourth saying, I never even said one bad word about Raptors, did I? No, I won't say you did, but you came in here with your Knicks, waving your orange and your blue. And you know what? Listen, like I said, I have more respect and love for you out of any of the Atlantic Division teams other than us. And like, seriously, it's really more because they've been pathetic. And I'm sorry if I'm putting you down. If you're a Raptors fan also, that's fine. But show that foot first, please. Don't come foot first with that New York, because that will get a response if you haven't noticed. Oh yeah, Seymour Sam, May the 4th, we'll put on the Raps jersey once playoffs start. Wash your Knicks jersey and they may have better luck next year. Okay, so maybe he's clowning. He may be like a Raptors fan. He just wants to bring up the Knicks to make us all feel better. Hey, I'm all for that. May the 4th. Yeah, May the 4th. What is the significance of May the 4th? May the 4th be with you? Yeah, he's a Lucas. He likes Star Wars. I love it. May the 4th is pretty funny. Yeah, it is good entertainment. Okay, let's see. May the 4th saying never gonna happen. I'm Knicks rain, sleet, or snow. Okay, well, that's fine. That you're a masochist. You love pain. You love hurting. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a story. Let's tell a New York Knicks story real quick. You know, the Knicks, they play they played the Raptors a lot in the history of the playoffs, and they beat us the first time we were ever in the playoffs. I went to that game, and it was a 5-game series. It was like 1999, and we had Muggsy Bogues at the time, whose jersey's behind me, signed, stuff like that, and JYD and Alvin Williams, stuff like that. But you know, the Knicks are a cool team in some ways. Like, they have a great history. Like, I love some of those old great Knicks. Like, there's some Knicks that I really have a lot of respect for, like Earl the Pearl Monroe, like Walt Frazier. I met Walt Frazier once, and it was so fantastic. It was in the back of the Air Canada Center. I was walking into the building, and he was behind the building also coming in for the game. It was a New York game. He does the color for them, obviously, and he was just in the back. He's wearing this stylish, badass suit, because that's the thing Clyde was known for, is his style. He was a style icon like Serge Ibaka back in the 70s. This motherfucker was wearing the threads. He was teaching kids how to look at that decade. Oh man. And I came up to Mr. Frazier. I said, Mr. Frazier, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's so nice to meet a Hall of Famer, an NBA great of all time. Because this man, out of all the Knicks in your history, this man has 2 rings. So he gets respect. He gets respect because he got your last 2 rings. And when was that? That was right around when I was born, in the 70s. Yeah, that was right around when I was born. And that's been how long since then? Oh my gosh. And we've been a team for 27 years, and we got that one Larry O'Brien so far. And we're on our way to our second one very soon, New York. Don't get it twisted, because we're way closer to that than even the other team in your city, Brooklyn. Yeah, we're going to get a Larry OB before Kevin and the Brooklyn Nets. And we're damn for sure going to get one before you. Oh, yeah, we are. But yeah, I admire your dedication and your allegiance to your team. That's fine. We like other team fans to come here. We had a Nets fan that was here many times earlier in the season. He's disappeared. I don't know where he went during that losing part of the season that they had in the middle here recently. But he's gone. We hadn't seen him. But if a Knicks fan wants to come and interact with us, we're all welcome. Welcoming everybody come in here. And as long as you know you're cool, we will talk about this, man. We'll talk about this. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. All right, let me see. This is hilarious. All right, let's keep going. Scott B says, middle finger to the Knicks. Yeah, and Tom Duke says you're a clown. Okay, just kidding. Respect. No, he is a clown. Come on, Tom Duke. If you're a Knicks fan, you're a clown. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry, Spike Lee. I'm sorry, but you are at this point. That this team is a clown in itself, and that you're just following the clown car. You're just another one of the clowns getting out of the clown car. This is the same kind of shit. Oh my gosh. Seymour Pape saying, "May the fourth be with you." Sounds like a Knicks fart. Oh my gosh, but yeah, all right. This is hilarious. Go find a Knicks thread. No, it's fine. It's fine. We are equal opportunity. This is a free country. Unless they get really bad, then we will block them. But they're fine. They're fine. May 4th saying, "Peep this. You talking about Barnes, but in all reality, we set up next 10 years. Keep sleeping." I don't see that. Where are you set up? Like your best player is Julius Randle in some ways, and this dude is not going to be able to stay there. Like you guys got to move him this summer. You know that there's an animosity between Julius Randle and the New York fans, the crowd that is not going to be fixed. And that he is like, listen, he was your everything last year. He was so good. He was almost an all-star. Was he an all-star recently? He might have been an all-star. I don't even remember. I don't give a shit. But Julius Randle has got to be on his way out. And then, like, what the fuck do you have otherwise? In fact, I think some of the trades you've done recently were stupid. Like, you traded some of your good players to Atlanta, I believe, or something like that. Knox and some of the other guys. I don't know. I'm not worried about you, New York. You are on the very bottom of the pile for me to be worried about as far as an Eastern Conference franchise. I'm more worried about big dogs like Miami, like Milwaukee, like Chicago, like Philadelphia. I ain't worried about some little piddly lame ass motherfucking dog that's barely gonna be able to take out the walk to lift the leg on the fire hydrant, because that's where your dog is right now. Your dog can barely lift the leg to piss on a fire hydrant right now. Yeah, that's how hurt and messed up you are. Seriously, get in the playoffs first, and then maybe you can come talk to us. Maybe then, maybe then, because you're not even close to us. You're not even sniffing our jock strap on how close you are to where you are with your development on your team. Yeah, give me a break. Come on now. You know that you got major dysfunction on your team, and that there's going to be major problems. There always are with your team. Until you get a different owner, you're always going to have problems. I'm sorry. That's just it starts at the top with James Dolan, and you will continue to have bad problems on your team forever. Keep sleeping. You're sleeping. Tom Duke saying, "I am Canadian, so I feel sorry for you." There you go. He's being kind to you. Even though he called you a clown, he's also being kind to you. He feels bad about like clowning on you, even though you are a clown, and you shouldn't feel bad, Tom Duke. All right, let's see. Raps are one of the youngest teams in the league. Raps are really set up. Once they gain some experience, they will put teams to sleep. That's what G's saying. Yes, we're going to do this. It's just inevitable. We have Masai Ujiri. He's building. He's the architect. We have a whole idea of what we're doing. Sometimes the Knicks, I don't fucking know what you guys are doing. You just rhyme a reason. You take a dart and throw it at a dartboard, and that's how you decide what the fuck you're doing? Because I don't think you guys have any kind of plan or nothing. Like, honestly, it's not going to work out for y'all. Seriously. Scott B saying the Knox will suck for the next 10 years. Yep. May the 4th saying, "You sure?" Final answer, no lifeline. Yeah, I'm sure. Seriously, when has New York done something good in the last 30 years? I mean, Patrick Ewing was a badass. I love Patrick Ewing. You guys got the finals that one year against Houston. And we saw what happened then during the OJ trial. That was during the OJ trial. That's how long ago that was. I can't think of anything. I can't. Maybe you've won some dunk titles. Okay, good job. That's great. All right, anyway. Scott B saying, "Me and you can bet right now if you like." You guys go ahead and make a bet on New York versus Toronto in next year. Who's going to have a better record? Who's going to be further in the playoffs? Who's going to have better rookies? Who's going to have better things? Tom Duke saying, "Oh, yeah, let's go. I'd be on another team thread, too, if I was a Knicks fan." Yeah, that's a pretty good burn right there, Tom. Yet I didn't come here for facts. No, this isn't. This channel is factual to a degree, but it's also an opinion. It's also very tainted by our fandom of the Raptors. We are looking at things in the opposite of what ESPN's doing. We're looking at things the opposite of USA NBA, because y'all slight the Raptors. Y'all don't show them on TV. You don't give them highlights. You don't give them kudos when they deserve it. You don't fucking take into consideration exactly how badass Scotty Barnes is, and he should be the Rookie of the Year. So motherfuckers, I'm a counterbalance. I come in here and I speak the truth for our side. So you want to come in here and say you want to come here for facts? Well, here's a fact. When's the last time the Knicks won a championship? It's in the 70s. When's the last time the Knicks were actually relevant or important? It's probably in the 90s. Yeah, it was in the 90s the last time y'all were relevant. So yeah, all right, there's your facts right there, buddy. All right, let's see. Alistair saying should have lost to that motherfucker James. I agree. Alistair. It is what it is. It's LeBron James. Let him get his flowers. Let him get his little bit of feel good right now. They got that one little dose of one win right then. Who knows? There's nothing guaranteed for them for the rest of the season. They could continue to lose out after this one win that they got against us last night. It's almost like we did them a solid just to help make them feel better. I don't know. Scott B saying Knicks have no idea what they're doing. They really don't. They have no rhyme or reason. They have no plan. We don't know what they're doing. May the Fourth saying that's your problem and downfall. Can't see it come. We can't see Knicks coming because it's not coming. There's nothing to come. There's nothing. We aren't seeing it happen because it ain't happening on court. If it was going to happen, it would have happened in the season. It would have happened with your games that you're playing right now. It was going to happen. There's nobody coming to rescue y'all. What do you think? You're going to get in the draft? You're going to get some end-all, be-all that's going to save you like Scotty Barnes? No, you're not. You're not going to get that this year. So I don't see where it's coming from. You must have some imaginary friends, Snuffleupagus is around the corner on Sesame Street in New York, and that's where you think your imaginary friend's coming to save you. It's Mr. Snuffleupagus, and if everybody else around you sees how crazy you fucking look and sound, saying your special friend's going to come and save you. Nobody's coming to save you. Nope. Let's see. Raymond Jacobs saying, imagine having James Dolan in charge of your team. I'm so sad for Knicks. I know. Listen, the way they treated Oak, the way he fucking treated Oak by itself is just like blasphemy, man. I'm not even a Knicks fan, and I wouldn't put up with the owner fucking treating Charles Oakley like that. Charles Oakley, who's right here, who is a shared legend of the Knicks and the Raptors. We love him up here just as much as y'all love him in Toronto. And he is just as friendly and loved here, and he comes here just as much as he comes to New York also. We see him in Toronto. He comes to our games. He's involved in our franchise also. So it's like, look, your owner is an asshole. Your owner's always going to be an asshole. Until you get that fucking owner gone, you're going to be a losing team. I'm sorry, May the 4th. That's just the damn truth. Until you get rid of James Dolan, your team's always going to be bad. That's just how it is. That's just the truth. So let's see. Let's keep going. Tom Duke saying, can't lift his leg. Yeah, the dog can't even lift his leg to pee. He's peeing all over his leg because it's not even lifted. That's how miserable and sad the Knicks situation is. Keep sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I was asleep an hour ago. I'm awake now. Yeah, I'm awake. Scott B saying, I see losing coming in your future. Knicks. Yes. There will be losing. There's been losing coming in their future. Let me go look at them in the standings so I can really pinpoint accuracy, burn this motherfucker. Come on now. All right, let me see. Look, all right, they're 30 and 40. You guys have lost 10 more games than you've won. You're 5 games out of the play-in. You have to win a lot in the last few games just to even fucking sniff the play-in. So what the fuck? Why are you saying this? You're crazy. And how many times did you beat us this year? I don't think you beat us once this year. Like, seriously, we beat y'all on November the 1st. We beat you on December the 10th. We beat you on January the 2nd. So we beat you every month. We beat you in November. We beat you in December. We beat you in January. And I think we play you again. We'll beat you one more time. The last game of the season. That's right. We're going to beat you one more time just for fun. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's see. May the 4th saying, you not pose to you in a total different country. What? That doesn't even make sense. Write English. I'm really worried about American public school systems. If they're teaching you grammar like this, like what the fuck is that? You not post to you in a total different country. What the fuck is that? Like, we're not supposed to be able to hear ESPN or NBA? Yeah, we can hear y'all's media. You guys may not watch Canadian media, but we're watching American media up here because there is a lot of it and people put it out and we see it. I don't watch it personally myself. I don't, because I hear it. It's just the same as Russian propaganda. They're trying to fucking say that they're in Ukraine for the reason that they're in. It's the same kind of shit that the NBA says on their ESPN and all their other shit. It's propaganda. They propagandize whoever the fuck they want. And if your team was better, you'd get more propaganda for your team, but you're not. So they've given up on you. So instead, they push teams like Boston and Philly. That's what I'm saying, yo. And the Brooklyn Nets. That's the other one. Let's keep going. Seymour said, once I seen what happened with Oakley and Spike there, diehard fans, I was totally done with the Knicks on terms of respect. We the North, baby. Yes, your owner is an asshole. Like, why would you do Charles like that? And Spike Lee's a badass. I love Spike Lee. My mother met Spike Lee. He's a very nice man. He's a very cool dude. And like, I love his movies. There's a lot of things I love about New York and New York people and different things, the idea of it, all kinds of different stuff. But Knicks fan, you got nothing to stand on. Seriously, man, you can't come in here and be like this. May the Fourth saying, I repeat, Raptors are known for best for losing until Kawhi. No, that's not true. We were winning team with DeMar and Kyle for most of the 2010s. We did lose to LeBron in the playoffs, but didn't you too? You guys fucking didn't even make the playoffs. So what the fuck, man? Listen, who's known for losing? Who's known for losing right now? In the last fucking 15 years, who's known for losing? Maybe we were known for losing in the 90s, but maybe you should update your NBA almanac. Maybe get you a new one, not one that says 1997 on it. Because motherfucker, it's 2022, and this team has been good for fucking 10 years. We've been a playoff team year in, year out, except for a fucking Tampa aberration last year. And how many of these fucking years did the Knicks make the playoffs out of those years? Seriously, go look at that. Go look at that and find out what you have to stand on. Kawhi was great. Yes, we won a championship with Kawhi. I'm glad you noticed that. But yeah, he's not the end-all be-all of our winning. If you haven't noticed, we had a better record the year after he left. And if that bubble shit hadn't happened and the pandemic hadn't happened, we might have won another championship without Kawhi. Yeah. So, keep saying stuff. It's stupid. Scott B saying a better country is where we're at. We don't need to get into this. I mean, both countries have their issues and problems, and they're similar. But yes, Canada is a better country. God damn it, you're right. Let's keep going. May the Fourth saying, unfortunately for you, no more help for your Raptors. You talk about an owner, which tells me you're not a wise man. I talk about an owner. Well, I know my owner here is Larry Tannenbaum, and I know what he's all about with the Raptors. He's all about winning and letting Masai Ujiri do his job. And I know that your owner, James Dolan, has his hand in the cookie jar, and he's trying to do everybody else's job. He may be involved in coaching. He may be involved in GMing. That's what he's saying. You don't sound wise in yourself. Don't you understand it all starts at the top, that your owner sets the tone, that if your franchise doesn't have a good owner, an owner that's meddling, an owner that may be an egomaniac, that it really fucks up your team in different ways? I mean, it's really good. I didn't expect we'd get a primer or a learning lesson on why the New York Knicks suck today, but it seems like that's what the live stream's turned into now at this point. The Knicks fan, you really don't have a leg to stand on, and your team has been bad for many years. And that's all I'm going to say right here. All right, let's keep going. Barnes alone will beat the Knicks in a few years. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Like, listen, we play you guys every day of this week coming up, and we beat you 7 out of those 7 days right now. Oh, yeah, we would. Don't get it twisted. We would beat the Knicks 7 times in a row right now. We were in a 7-game series, a playoff series with the Knicks right now. 4-game sweep. You're out. Bam. Like that. Tom Duke saying, May the 4th equals fake news. So we are known for losing. Don't waste any more time on this schmuck. Yeah, all right. I'm with you, Tom. Scott B saying, Knicks need a heart restraint, not the Raptors. Heart restart. Yeah, they need a hard restart. Like, they need to reboot that machine completely. They may need to fucking defrag their whole fucking computer. They may need to fucking do all kinds of shit to try and make that thing healthy and work again. Let's see. Seymour saying, at May the 4th, we have bench guys that would be starters on your team. Oh, my gosh. That's right. May the 4th saying, I don't give a fuck what you promote. Knicks without one ring is continually number in what? So you talking about Knicks owner shows you a dummy. Number 1 in entire NBA gross net without one ring. Give that through thought, dummy. That's your brain on drugs. Motherfucker, you sound like the Iron Sheik with your broken English and your fucked up fucking whatever you're fucking saying. Listen, yeah, the owner matters. You keep saying that. I keep bringing up James Dolan and it doesn't matter. It matters. I bet a lot of New York fans wish the owner didn't matter, but it does. It does. And I don't even understand half of what you just said. Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, my brain could be on drugs sometimes. I smoke marijuana. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, listen, you know what? Yeah, this is it. This is it. You're done, bud. You're done. You're done, bro. You're out of here. You're out of here. You provided some good entertainment. We got a little bit of a May the 4th versus Raptorfreak Lex, and we saw what's up. Yeah, this is awesome. Darren saying, trolls, Knicks troll, being fucking bong. Bing fucking bong. Yes, Darren coming in with a bing fucking bong. What happened this season? Oh, my gosh. Yes, Darren, you're a little late to it, but yeah, you're here. This guy, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Anyway, G saying being number 1 gross net without a ring is exactly why the owner is lazy and doesn't make moves. He doesn't need to for you guys to feed him. This is the Maple Leafs phenomenon. Like the New York Knicks and the Toronto Maple Leafs are the same in their leagues. Like the Knicks, yeah, the Knicks make a lot of money, but like actually, do they make the most money? I don't even think they do at this point. I would think that the Lakers probably make more money, maybe Boston. I mean, I know Toronto's in the top 5. It's not like we're a slouch on this. We are a team that makes money in this league. We are a profitable franchise. So I don't know where this guy's coming from. This is hilarious, guys. Honestly, this is like good entertainment right now. But yeah, this guy's gone. He's done. Let's see. Daryl Turner, good morning. I haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you again. Opinions on the Wizards getting revenge tonight against the old and tired LeBron Lakers tonight. I like this storyline that you're bringing up, Daryl, because there are former Lakers on the Wizards, like Kyle Kuzma, KCP. These guys, maybe they have an axe to grind. I mean, I know Kyle has things he wants to prove against the Lakers and the things that happen. So I love this. That may be fantastic. The Lakers going to be on a back-to-back, obviously, because they just played us last night, and they got to go all the way to Washington and play them tonight. This may be right for the picking kind of stuff. I think the Wizards should kick their ass. Plus, they have Porzingis now. It's very interesting, weird Wizards team at this point. But, let's look once again. We'll look at the standings and really pour it on Knicks fan here. The Wizards are actually in no, they're just below them. They're very close. So, Knicks fan, Wizards are about the same as you and stuff like that. But yeah, I like the chances of the Wizards to beat the Lakers tonight. That'd be really good. I don't want to see the Lakers get steam because of this bullshit from last night. We don't want to see them start getting some momentum going and stuff like that. So, Scott B saying you have to smoke one with guys like that around. Scott B's right. Yeah. I don't smoke before I do the stream. So him saying that I'm on drugs right now is not accurate, actually, because I am up and I'm clear-minded at this point. But, give me an hour or two after the stream, I'll probably will smoke by then. So, yeah. Seymour Pate, bye, goodbye, adios. It's crazy the Wiz sits so low in the standings after a hot start. Yeah, it's really weird how much they dropped. Like they really did look like a real team for a little while there. And then once again, it was really kind of what I was predicting, that they'd have problems because they have similar players that play the same position. It was Dinwiddie, KCP, and Bradley Beal. And there was just a problem there. And Dinwiddie was the guy. He was the problem. They had to ship him to Dallas. And, it's weird. They were really hot at the beginning of the game, at the season. They beat us in the first game of the season, our home opener. They looked really strong. But now look at how far they plummeted right on out. This really is crazy. You're right, Seymour. All right, let's see. We're just over an hour. Let me just go over the box score from last night just a little bit, just to kind of talk about our guys and what they did and what I didn't like. Just real quick on the other side. Once again, Gabriel took over the game at the beginning of the game for the Lakers, really set the tone for them, got the good things going for them. I hated it. We really should have gotten him better. Like I said, we should have been playing defense in the first half last night. We did not play any defense. LeBron and Russell did what they did. I kind of already talked about it. And then the rest of them is like Bradley off the bench with the threes. Stanley Johnson had a couple of interesting plays last night at different times. He had 5 assists. Very interesting on that point. And that Reeves kid's an interesting player coming up for them and stuff like that. But anyway, besides all that, Pascal shot 50% last night. He was 6 of 12, but he only got 17 points last night. I really felt like either the Lakers were keeping him away from trying to score, or Pascal just wasn't looking for his shot as aggressively as he has in recent games. And I feel like that was a problem, that we needed Pascal to take more initiative throughout the whole entire game, because he had 6 points at the half. And that was not enough points. He should have been going further and going better. And the other thing that happened last night with Pascal is really bad is he lost his streak of 20 game scoring games. Like he had 8 games in a row where he scored at least 20. He lost it last night. He did not continue his streak. So just not a good performance by Pascal, mainly because he wasn't aggressive enough as far as I'm concerned. Scotty Barnes, really badass game. He should be getting more interest for Rookie of the Year with 31 points, 17 rebounds. That's a monster stat line. And listen, Scott, keep going. Get a 40-point game, and they'll really, really put the pressure on them to make you Rookie of the Year. Kem Birch was limited last night. Once again, Kem Birch did something last night that really kind of made me mad. Like, Kem, if you get that open shot, don't try and dump it to Thad. You were open, and that's your bread and butter right where you are. Shoot it. You're too unselfish. take that shot. You had the shot open. Alvin pointed it out after you did it. You shouldn't have made that extra pass. You were open. Just take it up and shoot it. And be more aggressive. Please, Cam, because we need you to score. You can't just let everybody else do all the scoring around you. We need you to take initiative and be a little more aggressive in your shot and take it when you're open. Because we've seen this all year from you. You make this extra pass when you should be the one taking it up. And I don't like that. Fred was pretty good last night. He was better than he was against the Clippers. 8 for 19 with the 2 threes, 20 points, 7 assists, 4 steals, only 1 turnover. I thought Fred was really solid. But once again, Fred not really showing up with the big threes at different times, like his steadiness that helps us really manage games and really puts us over the hump. He was doing more work near the basket. We saw some really nice layups, some really nice drives, and getting around different guys, and that was good. But I really like it more when Fred bombs these long threes to help us win late in the game. And that was kind of missing near the end game. It was more Gary who came out and was kind of giving that water to us with he had 4 threes last night, 4 of 8 from the line. Much better game from Gary last night, 23 points, 8 of 17 shooting. He wasn't shooting well earlier in the game, but later on he came on strong. And I like that he was mixing, matching. He was doing some threes, but then he was going to the driving to the lane and making layups also and doing good stuff like that. Gary had a good game last night. We just need a little bit more from somebody else somewhere along the line. And Gary missed 1 free throw, which isn't like him. I don't like that. The missed free throws I'm really looking at today, like Pascal and Delano specifically, pissed me off. Like Delano Banton, you really need to work on your free throw shooting. I don't like the way you're coming up to the line, how casual you are, and how bad your form is, and where the ball is going all over the rim. Like you're not shooting straight at the free throw line, Delano. You really need to work on this because your free throws did hurt us last night. They did. They ended up hurting us bad. So, and then keep going on the bench. Let's see. Thad Young, we talked about him a little bit. He had too many turnovers, missed too many shots, didn't look as sharp. Chris Boucher was good in some ways. He had those 4 offensive rebounds and some putbacks, but he didn't score a lot. He only got 6 points. And, you know, he was okay. Like, I really like seeing Chris sneak in there and get some putbacks. That's really important that we have a garbage man that does that. Precious looked really good to us. For everything that he did bad in that little bit of time at the end of regulation, he was phenomenal otherwise. Like, honestly, guys, his 3-point shot, that one that he took in transition, everybody's probably holding their breath, but I knew it was going to go in because he got it in rhythm. And the other thing I really liked about what he did last night is he varied his offense. He did some driving. He did like a really smart mid-range shot with the clock running out. He took his time and he made it. 7 of 13 from the field. You can't argue with that. 18 points, 5 rebounds. Really, really nice. And I already talked about Ben. One thing I do want to say also about Scotty is one of the things that Scotty needs to do more and more of is really get these passes to guys. Like there was one pass he threw to Gary Trent. It was badass. It was a really good pass. And the way he threw it to Gary is the kind of way Magic Johnson would have thrown his pass to a Laker back in the day, because he threw it to him in a way where it really, he caught it in the right way and he could really catch and shoot really fast, and he made the shot in rhythm. That's the thing. Passers on teams can set up the rhythm of the shot for the jump shooter before they even get the ball, if they pass the ball to them in the right way. And I saw that at one point last night where Scotty threw the ball to Gary in a very nice assist, and there was no doubt Gary was going to drain the shot because Scotty got the ball to him in a really nice delivery. And that's one thing I want to see expand more with Scotty's playmaking, is continue to look for guys like Gary and get them the really easy rhythm 3 shot off a really nice pass that sets him up for success. Because that's part of it. Is Magic had so much success with his teammates because he set them up for success. That's what a point guard does. They set them up for the highest percentage of success by giving them a pass that they can really handle, that they're real comfortable with and they're real happy with, and they're set up for success with. I love it. All right, let me keep going. Let me see what you guys are saying, and then we'll wrap it up and I'll be off for the day. Let's see. Okay. Seymour saying, where do you see Beal signing next season? Any chance Toronto? I don't want Bradley Beal. Like, people have talked about bringing Bradley Beal to Toronto for many years now, and I've never, ever liked that idea. I feel like he's a high-volume shooter who shoots around 35% from the field. At this point, he's not as good as he was like 8 years ago or something like that. He really is kind of on the decline, and he's somebody we don't want. He's just on that list for me. that he's a high usage guy who misses a lot of shots, and we just don't need that on our team. Like we have Gary Trent Jr. He's basically like a Bradley Beal kind of role, and he's not necessary. But if he goes to another team, we can see that. But you know what? I've actually heard Bradley say that he's quite happy in Washington. This is the weird thing. You think that Bradley Beal, after all these years with Washington, and Dame Lillard, after all these years with Portland, would be like, I want to get the fuck out of here because we're rebuilding over and over again. No, we're not getting anywhere, spinning our wheels. But both those guys seem to be dedicated and loyal to their franchises. Like Bradley has publicly said that he wants to stay with Washington. He's not looking for a way out. So I don't think they're going to move him. I think he is going to stay with Washington. That he's going to re-sign with them. So it's like I don't think he's going anywhere. Is what I'm saying. Let's see. Scott B saying Bulls are dropping like a stone. It's weird because I want to see DeMar lose and win at the same time. I don't want to see DeMar lose. I only want to see him lose on Monday when we play him. Like when we play the Bulls, I want to see him lose. But otherwise, they're the team I'm rooting for otherwise than us because I really do want DeMar to get a chip. I really do want him to get that feeling like Kyle has, like we have as our team. As he missed out on it, and he deserves it. Honestly, he put in so much work to help us get up to the championship level as a franchise that I just want to see that poetic justice happen for DeMar at this point in his career. So I don't want to see them continue losing. And it is too bad. Out of all the top Eastern teams, they are the ones that are kind of sliding the worst right now, other than Cleveland. And now, yeah, they're in the 5th spot below Boston as of last night. And I hate that. I hate that. I don't want to see Boston above Chicago. No, I don't. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I mean, we do need to really win against the Bulls on Monday. We need to win against the Sixers tomorrow. So it's just these games are all really important. So there's like I want to see tomorrow lose on Monday, but otherwise, I'd love to see them win every single other game other than the ones when they play us. Ija Flop. Why did we have any timeouts when we inbounded in the last moments of regulation? I thought we actually did take a timeout at that point. We were set up. We had time to figure it out. It's just that it was poor execution, like really poor execution, not a smart decision. I don't think that they should have inbounded it to Precious. I know there was a lot of pressure, and sometimes on the inbounds, you got to get it to whoever you can get it into in the 5 seconds. But I thought that Precious was the wrong person to try and get in the ball to, like from that pass. That why aren't you throwing it to Gary Trent Jr.? Because he's the guy at the end of the game that we can count on to hit clutch free throws in the pressure situation. He is that guy. So there were a couple of different things we could have done better. Obviously, if we just got the ball in and kept it away from them without turning it over, that would have been fantastic. But everything that could have gone wrong in that little split second at the end of the game went wrong, especially with like Russell making that shot. That is so insane that he made that shot. But that's a big time baller. That's a guy who's gotten so many NBA points over his career that's how it works. And that he had a little bit of luck. That was a little bit of a lucky shot, seriously. And that it could have easily not gone in, and we would have just won the game. So that we got to look at it that way also. So, but yeah, I don't think that I thought we did take a timeout before that. I'm not totally positive. Maybe we didn't because Nick Nurse is always kind of like, let's go up by the seat of our pants and just go ahead and keep like playing. And, no, don't call a timeout because the other team gets time to strategize in that moment also. Maybe we pre-plan ahead and he trusts in our guys to play without timeouts and do the right thing regardless. He does that all the time. He won't call timeouts when other teams would normally call a timeout and get set up. He'll do that. That's part of his strategy to not allow the other team to get that organized like we would with the timeout. So, all right, Summer Low, good to see Summer. Summer is one of the best Raptor fans in town. So heartbroken with the loss. One of the worst turnovers since Chris Childs. Game 5 heave for no reason. Wow, Summer really, once again, Summer impresses me. Her knowledge of the Raptors goes way back, and she's bringing up a Chris Childs heave in Game 5 for no reason. Wow. I barely remember that, but I do kind of remember that. Yeah, it was kind of a weird, at least it wasn't as egregious and like, what the fuck as that play was, but it really was. The Lakers had to really excel and do everything right, and we had to do everything wrong in that little sequence, and it sucks. Summer's saying we did have one more timeout at that point. We just didn't use it. And like I said, like I was just saying, Nick Nurse has that philosophy of sometimes just let them play. Don't call the timeout because we may have more advantage with playing off the fly than them going and getting set up with some sort of organization from there being able to time out themselves. So Scott B saying, I don't see us picking up any free agents, Seymour. Thanks, Scott. A little mini conversation. No, I think we will pick up some free agents this summer. They're not going to be flashy names. They're not going to be big names like Bradley Beal. They'll be like, guys like Jamal Crawford. They'll be guys like, bench guys that maybe like somebody like Lou Williams, something like that. We need a scorer off the bench. We need a veteran scorer. We can find guys that are on the tail end of their career that are still really valuable and still really good scorers and steady at scoring. Guys that aren't going to be inconsistent like our scorers off the bench this year. Like not guys that can fill Svi Mahalik or Yuta or Malachi's roster spot and just give us more production off the bench. That's the kind of guys we're going to look for and get in this free agency this summer. We will get a couple of free agents, but they won't be big names. They'll be mid-level kind of guys that'll be bench guys for us. And we have our core. So that's all that matters. But yeah, we don't need Bradley because Bradley will kind of mess up our core synergy right now. Like he would cause the problems that Dinwiddie was causing for the Wizards this year on our team. It's like all of a sudden he's taking shots away from Fred and Gary, and we don't want that, and especially when he misses more than he makes. Because Bradley is kind of washed, and to a degree he's washed. From the couple of times I saw him play against us this season, he didn't look as sharp or as good as he used to. He's not the same player. He doesn't have the value that he used to have. For sure. Scott B saying, feel this Raptors team is very solid next year. We're in for a treat center. Yeah, I think that'll be the two things we look for is a bench scorer and a center, maybe a real center, a guy that can actually really physically match up with Embiid and Jokic. Summerlow saying, Raptors will have cap space if they don't re-sign Thad Young and Boucher. Well, I hope they re-sign Boucher at least. Thad Young, it's a mixed bag. Like we've seen some good synergy at times, but then we've seen games like last night where he's causing turnovers and missing shots also. That'll be a decision. I love that flexibility of the Thad Young move for Goran Dragic is that we didn't saddle ourselves with a long contract going past the summer. That if he didn't work out right now, that in the summer we just let him go and bring somebody else in to replace him in a different way. And I think that, I really hope that they re-sign Chris. That's something I think we can get him at an affordable contract still, and he'll want to stay here. I think he's an important part of our team, and I'll be really sad if we do let him walk and he ends up on another team this summer. But the other money and the stuff like that, we can do stuff with that stuff still. We're going to have some cap space no matter what. So we'll be fine. Seymour saying at Summerlow, who would you take, Beal or Young and Boosh? I wouldn't take. That's not actually a fair lineup because Beal's contract's way more than probably Boucher and Young put together, and that's what I'm saying. Like I would much rather have those two guys than Bradley Beal. And it's really mainly because they fit our needs better than Bradley Beal does. Bradley Beal is not what we need. He's just not what we need. Trust me, he's not what we need. To me, he's like Russell. To me, he's like James Harden. There's certain things about Bradley that he takes away from the team as much as he gives. And we don't need that. We don't need that right now in our franchise right now. I've never wanted Bradley, even when he was way better than he is now. So especially, I'm not going to want him now when he's washed up a bit. He's not as good as he was 5 years ago. And I didn't want him then. I was telling Raptor fans, no, we don't want Bradley Beal. Don't bring Bradley Beal to Toronto. I was saying that all along. I haven't changed my tune on Bradley. All right, let's keep going. Race Mode Daily, good to see you. I'm happy for Westbrook. He is taking a lot of hate in LA. Too bad he hit the shot against us. I am kind of happy for him also. It's weird. It's funny. I was talking about LeBron sitting on the bench with the Bill Cosby sweater yesterday. Well, who was wearing the Bill Cosby sweater in the press conference after the game? It was Russell. Russell was wearing the Bill Cosby sweater in his post-game interview, if you go watch it. And he's kind of cool too. Like listening to him talk. All right, I wasn't aware of this situation that happened the night before the game in Toronto down the arena with the fan. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It was on TikTok and Twitter and different places. An idiot Toronto fan. In some ways, yes, he's a Raptor fan, but we do have knuckleheads in our fandom. Was harassing Russell on the street and filming it, and he was really dumb. The guy was really dumb about it. He's like, I don't know. It was blown way more out of proportion than it should have been. Like, obviously, these kind of interactions happen with NBA fans and NBA players all the time in public. It's just that this guy filmed it and it got put up and then it went viral and everybody's looking at it. And it's probably in relation to how the fans in LA have been treating Russell. He's getting grief there. And now he comes to Toronto and there's a man on the street harassing him on the street and stuff like that. And a lot of people are saying that it was not a good look for our fans, and that some people are saying that it was karma that Russell hit that shot because we had this idiot come and accost him on the street with his phone Thursday night. So it's tough to say. I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. Russell was going to hit that shot or not hit that shot, regardless of what happened to the fan. But it wasn't a good look. And, with all the stuff that's been happening to Russell this year with the fans, we don't need our fan to do that kind of thing up there, especially how cowardly and how stupid the fan looked in the whole thing about it. Like talking to him after he left, like really loud from far away, like talking trash then. Like, come on, dude, just go away. Just don't film any more stuff with NBA players, fan. You need to just like live your life and stop doing stupid shit like that. Let's keep going. Scott B saying, think they're going to lean into keeping this group together and grow. They really are. It's obvious that they're going to, and it makes sense. It's brilliant. You should do that. If you've already kind of put the eggs in the basket you think are going to grow and be badass, then keep growing them in the incubator. Don't bring in new eggs just because. If it ain't broken, don't fix. And this not broken. This team has really good synergy. We're seeing that Scotty Barnes can play really well with our main guys from before. And the prospect of Scotty and Precious is enough alone to push our ceiling up to a championship level without having to make huge splashes in the free agency market. That's at least in my opinion. Some people may not agree with me and they say, oh, we need a little bit more, but I don't believe that, because these guys are showing leaps and bounds in their development really quickly, and they're doing it in a way that's veteran. Like last night, they had a lapse of judgment. We lost a game, but that's the growing pains. But there's way more times where they execute and play really sound and well at the end of games and close it out and win than games like last night. And that's the thing that I'm pointing to. Like, if you look at how close the Clippers game was, how close the Nuggets game was, these games were close games, and we managed them well, and we didn't make mistakes, and we executed enough to win. And that's really important. It's just last night it didn't happen. And that's important too, because you get to see how close it is between failure and success in the NBA, and how much every little thing adds up to whether you do win or not. And that it all matters. It really all matters. Yeah. So, yeah, they really are going to keep this core group and develop around it. And it'll be periphery guys, like I said, a bench scorer, a big center. That kind of stuff is what we should be looking at on our shopping list this summer. Summer Low saying at Seymour, no chance at Beal. His contract is a supermax. See, that's the other thing. You got to think about the realities of contracts, and we don't want to take on that kind of salary. In fact, in some ways, Bradley, these older players like Kyle Lowry are albatrosses on franchises because they get hung around their necks, and they get, you can't do a whole lot with your flexibility in your cap when you're paying an aged veteran that you're keeping around on your team, and you don't get the same kind of value. It's not like Bradley's game's going to get better in the next couple of years. He's on his way down. So you're paying for a guy who's going to get worse and worse. Why would you want that? That's why you want the guys that we have that continue to grow up. And I mean, I know Thad Young's not going to grow up because he's already he's similar. And Boucher, to me, it's just that he has so much time accrued with our guys. He's won the championship 4. He's Canadian. He's he's a very important, essential role player. He's grown into it this year, and he's shown some really cool things. And once again, he's a unique talent in the NBA to a degree to me. Like with his length and the way he can block shots and move around and hit threes and stuff like that, there's not a lot of guys that are exactly like Chris Boucher in this league. And I value him way more than the average Raptor fan does. And we need him. Plus, he's got a badass podcast now called The Hustle Play that's teaching us all the inside stuff about the players, like in a real way. And I love it. Like, I want to see more episodes of that also. So, to me, Chris is off the table. And in some ways, I'll bet you Bobby and Masai really look at him as being a high priority this summer. I'm going to bet you money that they are going to give him a good offer, and he's going to take it. And he's not – this is the thing. Another thing about Chris is he's not worried about the money. The money is not the most important thing to him. He's really glad to be in the NBA. He's very grateful. And he's smart enough to understand that his situation in the Raptors is better than maybe on other teams. He could go to another team, and a lot of bad things could happen. So I think he's going to really strongly consider re-signing with us, and maybe not really gut us for a lot of salary, that we may get him on a good deal, guys. So I really want Chris to stay on the Raptors. I cannot understate this more. I overstate this. I mean, Let's keep going. Tom Duke saying, just watched it. Chris Childs Game 5 Heat for no reason. Summerlow, what a great reference. You are awesome. That's cool. You went and looked at it right now. Yeah, that says something from the history. Really, she's pulling it from. You have a better memory than me, Summer, because like, oh my gosh. Like, I guess maybe it's partly that I wanted to forget that. It's like, I don't want to have this image in my mind over and over again. I'm worried about you, though, Summer. If you're remembering all these horrible images from Raptors past, if you have nightmares and stuff like that, I try and just put them out of my head and get them away from me. But that's funny. Yeah. Summer, please come to every day. Honestly, like if I could make a co-host, I'd bring you and Monique in and you guys would be like hosting the show with me because your knowledge is on point. Daryl Turner saying opinions on Michigan Wolverines center Hunter Dickerson being drafted by Toronto Raptors in the late first round. I'm not familiar with the player. Maybe I'll go look at him after this, but I can't keep up with all the college and stuff like that. But if he's a center and he's from Michigan, that's probably usually pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he is on the radar. Maybe he is on the draft list of maybe potential guys that Toronto will look at and stuff like that. We'll just have to see, Daryl. Really, college basketball is a real weakness for me. I cannot pay attention to it in any kind of way because I'm this guy who wants to see it all and understand it all at once. And there's just too much of it. It would just take too much of my life. I couldn't do that. I couldn't follow college basketball because it's just too much work. But anyway, guys, all right. Well, it's a tough loss. It's a learning loss. It's a development loss. It's a loss that was very, very close. The margin, we had to make some mistakes. We had to fail in execution in different ways, and they had to make some really lucky shots. And they had to do a couple of things really good. And they needed this win way, way more than we needed to lose. And it sucks. I hated losing the win streak. I hated not sweeping LA. I hated LeBron doing it in front of our fans. I hated with the Laker fans being there. I hated seeing how chummy they all were with Drake after the game, all that kind of bullshit. I hated all of that stuff. But it is what it is. And we'll see. Okay, so they're playing today. Maybe I'll check out that Michigan March Madness game today. Okay, Race Mode Daily saying it right there. Let's go Raptors. We're going to Philadelphia. We got to go play the Sixers tomorrow night. I'll have the preview tomorrow. We're going to kick some ass. I'll have the real mascot matchup. I'll tell you what happened to the Raptor in that Clipper boat with the zombie Lakers, how it went down. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Tom Duke. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here as usual. Everybody have a great Saturday. Go out and live your life. Enjoy some March Madness. Go do other things. We don't have to think about last night. Meanwhile, Laker fan is over there acting like they just won a championship. They're probably partying and doing all this stuff. Let them have their kudos and their good times. Good for them. And then whatever happened here today on this show with somebody, I think there was a fan of another team that was in here earlier. I can't totally remember. That's just what a sad, pathetic display by someone who's clearly not in touch with reality in the NBA world as far as what's going on with their franchise. Good stuff. Very fun and entertaining. I told y'all, if somebody comes in here like that, we will cut a promo on them. There'll be a little bit of that on there. All right, guys. I appreciate it, Race Mode. I appreciate it, Seymour. You guys, all the best. I'll be back tomorrow between 8 and 11 tomorrow morning, a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another live stream previewing the Toronto Raptors at the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, Raptors, let's go Raptors. We got to beat the Sixers now, baby. Woo! Yeah!